Why in God's name does Capcom keep on stepping on its big old floppy dick in attempts to appease Western audiences? Today, we're doing a quick overview on Capcom and its latest shakeup, the departure of absolute legend Hideaki Itsuno, and what it might mean for the future of the gaming giants, and how Capcom may be repeating a cycle. Not gonna lie, guys, for me, this is an incredibly sad day. The Devil May Cry series has played an instrumental role in me being who I am today with the departure of Itsuno-san, and I'm going through a bit of an identity crisis. Hello, y'all, welcome back to the Locust, where we bring you quick overviews in the world of gaming. If you've been keeping up with Capcom news, then you've probably heard about the big exit at Capcom. Today, we're not just talking about Itsuno's departure, but what it signifies for Capcom's direction. If you love old Capcom, or even modern Capcom, why don't you hit the sick smoking style subscribe, like, and bell buttons for some more notifications, and give a thumbs up. It helps a lot. So, let's dive deep into Capcom's journey with Devil May Cry as our beacon. Let's set the scene. The year is 2010, and Capcom, known for its knockout franchises such as Mega Man, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Dino Crisis, and yes, I scream so good, my favorite, Devil May Cry, amongst many others. Acclaimed brainchild of Mega Man, Keiji Inafune, thinks that it may be a good idea to start appealing more towards Western sensibilities, bringing about tonal shifts in games such as Lost Planet 2, Yaiba, Ninja Gaiden Z, and of course, the notorious reboot DMC Devil May Cry. Suffice to say, many of these games, if not all of them, fell flat on their expectations. It was in this era Capcom had received the unfortunate moniker of Crapcom. Now, let's forward to the current era, 2024. Capcom has announced, albeit in a low-key manner, that they've begun to incorporate DEI elements into their company, most blatantly with its Twitter post for its localization team dating back to April 2024, highlighting elements such as cultural sensitivity. We've begun to see the implications of such cultural sensitivity with shifts in the box art for SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos, where the adored Mai's famous cleavage has been all but covered up. Also, worth noting that the Left 4 Dead remake is completely swapping out lines of dialogue that are offensive to communists and taking out erotic shots because they are deemed inappropriate in an M-rated game. Personally, I don't get it. So, what does this have to do with Devil May Cry? And arguably the greatest action franchise of all time that for some reason gets treated like Capcom's red-headed stepchild. The departure of Hideaki Itsuno, the mastermind behind the revival of Devil May Cry and the creation of Dragon's Dogma, marks a significant shift. Rumors, and just that, the internet is speculating here, suggest internal changes at Capcom aiming to integrate more Western-friendly elements, including DEI initiatives. This move towards a more inclusive, culturally sensitive approach might sound progressive, but for fans of Capcom's traditional flair, it's raising eyebrows. Remember the curse of the even-numbered Devil May Cry games. Each even-numbered entry of the mainline series has had its trouble with development, to say the least. And with Itsuno's departure, fans might wonder if this pattern might continue. Could Capcom's new direction be a catalyst for another misstep, or perhaps an opportunity for a bold new vision? I'm going to posit that, though constantly overlooked, the Devil May Cry series is actually the canary in the coal mine for Capcom. With the release of the first one, Capcom saw an explosive set of new franchises, such as the aforementioned Devil May Cry, Beautiful Joe, Onimusha Warlords, all legendary in their own right. With the botched release of Devil May Cry 2, Capcom released just more sequels, and like Devil May Cry 2, a lot of them were not exactly noteworthy. Then came 2005 with the release of the legendary Devil May Cry 3, and you had the critically acclaimed Resident Evil 4, and then you had the release of Dead Rising. It would seem as though Capcom's successes come in threes. Come the fantastic game plagued with troubled development, Devil May Cry 4, you had the not-so-adored Resident Evil 5 come out alongside games such as Dead Rising 2, Bionic Commando, Lost Planet, were not all bad. Many felt as though that they just missed the mark. Now this can be seen as a prelude to the Crapcom era. The censorship we're seeing, like in the Left 4 Dead remake or the SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos box art, might be Capcom's attempt to align with broader, more global market sensibilities. However, this approach risks alienating the core fanbase that loves Capcom for its unfiltered creativity and bold storytelling. Some have speculated that despite Dragon's Dogma 2 being a critical and commercial success, fan reviews might have differed, potentially leading to Itsuno's exit. Was he axed, or did he jump ship before Capcom's new vision fully took hold? Or perhaps the most likely outcome, he felt as though that it was time for a change. Either which way, his departure leaves a void, not just in leadership, but in the spirit of what made Capcom's games stand out. So, why does Capcom keep on stepping on its own dick to appease Western audiences? It's a cycle that they seem unable to break. They chase the trends, forget the roots, and in doing so, risk losing what made them great. Itsuno's departure might be the loudest signal yet that Capcom is at a crossroads. Will they double down on this new path, potentially alienating their core fanbase further, or will they realize that sometimes the old ways and the apologetically Japanese ways are the best ways? For good posterity, we're going to throw in a rumor that Itsuno may be moving over to Square to work on the next Final Fantasy game with the combat designer for Devil May Cry 5 and Final Fantasy 16, Ryota Suzuki. Where at the moment, this unfounded rumor is conceptually a wet dream for many. Personally, I would just prefer one last outing with the Rogue in Red, the GOAT, Dante. In a world of gaming where creativity should reign supreme, Capcom's latest moves feel like a step towards homogenization, at least in this opinion. A world where every game starts to look and feel safe, which is antithetical to the brash and bold signature tone of Devil May Cry. Here's to hoping that whoever picks up this mantle from Itsuno-san remembers what made Devil May Cry and Capcom games in general so beloved. Their unapologetic style, their bold storytelling, and their commitment to fun over formula. So, where do you guys think Itsuno's going? Leave it in the comments. Would you rather see another Devil May Cry game with him at the helm, or are you looking forward to a potential Final Fantasy game with him? Or do you just want him to go and start his own studio, kind of like what Platinum Games did? Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up. We like thumbs up, right? And we like subscribe buttons. What else do we like? We like bell notifications, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bells.
Yeah. Do it. Bye.